What's up, guys? KAMIKAZE-FOX coming to you from the IRL Season 5 F1 2018. On the PS4 platform, I'm here with KLC73, Aaron. Be co-commentating with us today for this 45-minute test session as we see some of the cars getting out onto track. So it should be an exciting day here at Spa-Francorchamps. If Tyler Thomas chiming in on the live chat. So feel free to like, subscribe, and comment and all that fun stuff. So check out some of the drivers here. Matthew Alder in the pits. We've got Jay Shitex. That's Jay Drawbridge. He's a F2 driver testing today in this mixed preseason test. Actually had quite an outing last time out. Was second fastest in the last test. And Tyler Thomas is already retired from the session. Revolution VV. I'm not 100% sure who this is. Aaron, you got notes on this guy?
Who?
Revolution VV in the Red Bull Renault.
Check. No. I don't know who he is.
Check my... Yep, we'll try and find out who Revolution VV is for everyone as we see he's heading back into the pits. We'll try and run down this driver list. So VSR Blizzard, that is going to be Matthew Alder. He's out on the mediums for Scuderia Ferrari. Jay Drawbridge in the McLaren. Reese Bibby still in the pits. See Revolution VV going in. Not sure who Fintani. Not sure who that is either. Looks like he's in the Haas F1. VSR Francis, he's in the Williams. That's Francis McGinn. ZE3 EXER is Sandre Sauerhog. And then we've got Jimmy McCardell, who I had an interesting preseason conversation with earlier this year. He was making some bold statements about how he was going to be ready to fight for the championship this year. And Tyler Thomas saying he was taken out early on by Alienware, which is the infamous TJ McLean. Looks like Funky somebody has left the session. And Cameron Weston Edwards is the first one to put up a time of a 1:48.142. As we continue to watch some of these drivers here pick up Gabriel Ryan in the Haas F1. And now Sandre Sauerhog is retired from the session. Frankie 4040 has rejoined, and it looks like Jimmy McCardell would be to pick up a 5-place grid penalty if this was practice for an actual race. And Lewis Marshall has gone to the top of the charts, 147.8. We're going to pick up TJ McLean in the Red Bull Renault. Tyler Thomas making some bold statements about his contact with TJ McLean 2 days in a row. Yesterday, there was more practice, I believe. Apparently there was some contact between McLean and Tyler Thomas then as well. So, Aaron, you do a little part-time racing. Have you raced with McLean in the past?
Yeah, I've raced him in a few leagues. I've stopped for just for a little while to take a little break, but usually he's had his incidents here and there. But when he doesn't have incidents, he shows great pace.
There seems to be some controversy surrounding this driver. And there you see he takes a hard right, almost as if he was taking a swipe at that Alfa Romeo. Hard to say if the car got loose on him.
He has been saying though that he has a shoulder injury and he's usually a wheel user, so he has to use the controller. That's the only thing that I know.
And Jimmy McCardell has retired from the session, unfortunately. So we started with almost a full house, and we've already lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers.
I think Jimmy crashed going into the pits.
Unfortunately, it won't let me take a look at his camera. But we've lost Tyler Thomas, Sanjay Sourhog, Jimmy McCardell, and James Hawthorne. Or Horton. The Horton? Hallworth. James Hallworth, I'm sorry. Take a look here at one of the Renaults. And Tyler Thomas has completely left the session at this point.
You fastest lap though from Francis.
And Francis McGinn. See him head down turn 1 into Eau Rouge. Up the hill. Oh, he gets very loose there coming up the hill.
Oh, so does
that blizzard behind him. Yes, Matthew Alder. They both lost it coming up the hill. And Revolution VV, who is actually out on Super Softs, sets the fastest time with a 1:45.7. And now Gabriel Ryan has gone to the top in the Haas. So the times are starting to drop. Interesting to note that Ryan, Lewis Marshall, and Matthew Alder have all set their fastest times on medium compound tires, while Revolution VV set his on the red-banded Super Softs.
Just inviting Frank to interview.
Cautions in Sector 1 and Sector 2. Other guys we haven't talked about yet is Louis Quinlan in the Scuderia Toro Rosso. And Stefan Prodanov, who is so far 9th fastest. And now we have Francis McGinn joining us here in the booth. Have a quick interview with him. And 4th quickest so far out on the medium banded tires. Are you practicing for race pace, qualifying pace? What's your test session looking like today?
I'm just going for long runs on medium ERS, just see what the tires are feeling like.
Now you do double duty, you do IRL and SRL, and you had quite an interesting year last year in both leagues. Where do you project to see yourself coming in this year?
In IRL or SRL?
IRL, since we're testing with them today.
And I'm hoping for a top 3 in the championship, if not the championship itself.
Looks like you're really struggling through Eau Rouge on those medium tires.
Yeah, there's no grip going off it whatsoever. I don't know why. I'm trying different things with the setup, but it's just not working.
Now, you started off strong last year in SRL. You and your teammate Killian Brady had started off really strong. You had fallen off pace mid-season and then managed to find that pace again. What had happened in the middle of that season last year where you fell off pace but managed to get it back?
Mid-season, I just didn't have any time on my plate to just practice or anything like that, so my pace suffered quite a lot because of it. But near the end of the season, I found myself with more time, so I was able to put in time to practice.
And do you feel like you'll have any of those issues coming into this year in either league?
Probably around exams, yeah. I'll have probably the same problem.
Now, who do you consider to be your quote-unquote possible rival, or who would you say would be the biggest championship contenders going into this season?
Blizzard.
The infamous Matthew Alder. All signs point to him.
I think he's going to be rival throughout most of the season as he retires.
Looks like we just got word. Yeah.
It's a bad time to praise him.
Alder has retired from the session.
By Rouge.
That's right on, actually.
So you see Alder's car there in the background. Looks like it was nosed into the wall. He also suffered some loss of grip going through Air Rouge around the same time you did. You both spun one right behind the other, and looks like he may have done it again and nosed the car into the wall, so he'll be done for the day. So, Francis, we certainly wish you the best of luck heading into this season. Look forward to watching you race. And
thank you.
Hopefully have a good opening round here in the next few weeks.
I hope I will. Hopefully we can start it off strong.
So who are we supposed to bring in next? Lewis Bish, I believe.
I think it was Lewis Marshall.
Lewis Marshall. And we'll wait for Marshall to join us here momentarily as he's still out on track. 6th fastest so far. Certainly want to thank Francis McGinn for his time joining us here in the booth. And interestingly enough, Jay Drawbridge has set the fastest time. He was very fast at the last preseason test. He did it on softs here, a 1:44.741. Him and Fatani, who was in the Haas, not sure who that is, the only two drivers who've managed to get into the 144s. And Alder has left the session. So we're now minus Alder, Tyler Thomas, Sandra Sauerhog, Jimmy McCardell, and James Hallworth.
While you were interviewing Francis, Frankie crashed. I can't remember whereabouts, but I remember that he crashed, which is the reason why he went back in the pits. He still hasn't set a lap time yet.
So Frankie 40-40, and I don't have any information on him either, as he cuts the chicane big time here at the end of the Kemmel Straight. Looks like he's trying to put some heat into the tires. Looks like Lewis Bish has joined the session. So we'll try and see if we can get him out on track. Another caution in Sector 2. Seems like a lot of guys are struggling with grip here. I don't know if that's a product of the track or a product of these medium compound tires.
Could be a choice of setup as well.
Spa is a very hard track, and you see one of the Red Bulls is off there in the background as we're watching Reese Bibby. And Spa is one of the harder tracks to set up, I imagine, because you want low downforce for the straightaways and the high-speed sections, but there's a lot of flat-out corners in this track where you want a little bit of downforce to keep the car from running wide and washing out. we continue to watch Reese Bibby here. See if he can improve on his time. He's been 7th fastest so far.
Just on board with Louis Quinlan, said he was 2/10 up in the middle sector. Potentially enough to get ahead of Cameron if he can nail this final chicane. Here he comes up to the line.
We'll pick up Louis Quinlan here.
Invalidated.
Invalidated that time.
Silent fight the next party.
James Hallworth chiming in on the chat saying he lost the rear of the car, went for a spin. Looks like he smashed it into the barriers, and that ended his day, unfortunately. As we continue to watch Louis Quinlan here. Quinlan's another one of those drivers that does double duty between IRL and SRL. And we've got Lewis Marshall joining us now here in the booth. Lewis, who has proven to be very fast. And last year, you see Quinlan runs very wide, and he's off course, and we're going to watch Quinlan nose it into the barriers right there. And
oh, he is.
Quinlan manages to lose his front wing. And it looks like he's going to pull off, get out of the way.
McLean's off as well.
TJ McLean. And McLean, doing donuts here as he almost takes out his teammates. And we'll try to get to Lewis Marshall here in 1 second. Lots of things happening. So you're only 8th fastest so far. I see you're out on the softs. What is your objectives for the test session today? Are we checking long runs, race pace, qualifying pace?
Everything, really. Like, the mediums don't feel that good. So I'm just seeing how long I can go in softs.
And where do you see yourself trying to finish up this year? Are you looking towards the top of the charts, or do we expect to see you mid-pack?
Hopefully, top 5 will be what I'm hoping for.
Top 5 is your goal, and your teammates with Matthew Alder. There's a lot of talk about Alder being the championship favorite. Have you guys talked any type of team strategy as far as trying to take a team championship?
Not really. We're pretty confident with the constructors, but I'm just gonna do what I can to help.
So would you consider yourself, in this case, the B driver, the number 2 driver?
Yeah, like Kimi Raikkonen.
The Kimi Raikkonen of the IRL League. Alder being the Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah.
And who would you say, aside from Alder, I mean, is there any other prospective champions in the league this year? Could you see anybody trying to take the fight to him, including yourself?
Definitely Super Guy. I'm not sure what his name is. But
That would be Sebastian Goncalves, who is not testing today, but has proven to be very fast.
And there's Felix. He wants to retain his championship. He'll probably be close.
As we see, you're heading into the pits.
Yeah, it was quite hard driving and talking.
Now, you got to be with the Ferrari this year. You were driving the Sauber last year, was it not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. What would you say is is Spa one of your better tracks? I mean, what tracks do you think you'll be able to excel on this year, and which ones do you think you'll suffer with a little bit?
I'll probably do well, like on Singapore, Monaco. I think I'm pretty quick on them. Then
Interesting choices.
Then probably Austria, and I've seen pretty quick in America as well.
Surprised by your answer with Monaco and Singapore. Those are some two, obviously the street courses, very tight, hard to pass on. A lot of guys don't have a lot of confidence heading into those tracks. So, bold statement here by Lewis Marshall, thinking he's going to, as we watch, looks like we're watching Quinlan get loose there. Or Stefan Prodenoff, I'm sorry. And he blew his lap time.
Oh, Matthew's back in the lobby.
Yeah, I was about to point that out.
Well, we certainly wish Lewis Marshall the best this year, and looks like Scuderia Ferrari is probably going to be the team to beat. Marshall saying it himself that he's essentially the B driver of the team, and Alder's going to be the one to look out for. So, Lewis, we certainly appreciate you taking the time to join us here for a few minutes, and enjoy the rest of the test session with 22 minutes to play. I wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, we just picked up Tyler R2003 as he smashes the left front right at pit entry. And I'm not 100% sure what his actual name is. I'll find it here in a minute, but just picked him up because he went, what was that, Tyler?
Tyler Rhodes.
Tyler Rhodes, a roll, I believe. I think I saw that. But yeah, he went third fastest. I picked him up. He was heading into pits and smashes the left front into the pit wall. And we got McCardell chiming in the live chat as well. Said he made a stupid mistake, which ultimately cost him his test session. So a little less than 22 minutes left to play, and it's really become a test session of attrition as we've lost so many drivers. We've now lost 7 drivers, 6 drivers. TJ McLean, bottom of the charts right now. He's had a horrible outing today. He's lost the car a couple of times. He's yet to set a time because of his off-track excursions. It looks like Matthew Alder has rejoined the test session under his other account, and he is currently in a McLaren, not in the Ferrari in which he will be racing. So Matthew Alder back in the session.
I think McLean could go fastest. He does.
Oh wow, TJ McLean finally sets a time. 1:44.391. That is 4/10 up over Jay Drawbridge, who for the second test session in a row has really put up some good numbers, even though he's in the F2 league. And he is only one of 3 drivers to run in the 144s, so props to TJ McLean, Jay Drawbridge, and Fintani. Still not 100% sure who that is. Pick up Cameron Weston Edwards in the factory Renault. He heads through Eau Rouge and up onto the Kemmel Straight. Oh, and a little bit of snap oversteer, it looked like. And he runs very wide off into the grass, and he is going to abort that lap. We'll pick up Quinlan as Quinlan comes across the line, 150. He's still 9th fastest with the best time of 1:46.493. stick with Quinlan here as he runs through Eau Rouge and up onto the Kemmel Straight. We just saw Cameron Weston Edwards lose it in the hairpin section at the end here. Quinlan out on softs in the Scuderia Toro Rosso. Watching his time to try and see what his sector time is going to be in comparison to. He runs very wide there, almost takes out the right side tires. Almost put himself into the barrier. Quinlan ran very wide here earlier. Lost the front end. Nosed it into the wall. Oh, and he runs very wide there coming out of that corner. 117 at sector 2. We're going to come down to the last hairpin here. And 147.358, so he still has not been able to improve on his time. Pick up Francis McGinn as he is starting a hot lap here. He's got a little bit of traffic in front of him and behind him. See one of the Haas's and Red Bulls is in the middle of that sandwich. The Haas promptly moves out of the way. Red Bull behind him gets by the Haas as well. Looks like McKinn's actually on a fairly good lap. Certainly won't be top of the chart. Looking to improve on his time. He's only been 12th quickest so far. Oh, but he runs very wide there. And we have TJ McLean joining us, the infamous TJ McLean. Fastest so far, good outing so far for you. What is your test strategy today? Are we checking for outright speed, race pace, or qualifying pace? And looks like there was a little bit of an incident earlier with you and Tyler Thomas. You've got a bit of a history from some of the other drivers as being overly aggressive. What's your take on the incident from earlier today? And where do you see yourself in the championship standings this year? Are you going to be mid-pack, back marker? It looks like right now with your race pace, you might be towards the front of the pack. And who would you say is your biggest rival in this league this year so far? Francis McGinn, who was just in here with us a few minutes ago. He's now managed to get himself up to 4th fastest. What are your projections for the championship? Who do you think is going to be the team to beat or the driver to beat? So once again, you're the
Francis
third
goes
driver
top.
today. And Francis McGinn goes to the top of the charts. TJ McLean saying that Matthew Alder is going to be the driver to beat as well. And it looks like Gabriel Ryan has some choice words for you as well. So there's definitely... There you have it, folks. That's TJ McLean. He's the resident black hat.
Oh, he's just crashed.
Oh, and TJ McLean. Last I saw, you were in the pits. What happened? Okay, he's done.
Right as we were praising,
I saw one of the Toro Rossos go around.
That was Louis Quinlan.
Quinlan going around again, huh? So we'll check out the, we're checking out Francis McGinn here, who has set the fastest lap so far, 1:44.354, followed by TJ McLean with a very good time of 1:44.391, second fastest so far. Jay Drawbridge, third quickest, he's an F2 driver. Batani is fourth, Lewis Marshall fifth quickest. Tyler Roll was sixth fastest, but took himself out getting into the pits, and it looks like that was one of the McLarens there, sitting at the start-finish line. Looks like he spun. Gabriel Ryan is seventh, Reese Bibby eighth. Frunke 4040 is ninth quickest, and Cameron Wesson-Edwards is rounding out your top 10 fastest drivers for the day here in the test session. 12 minutes left to go here in the test session. We've heard some interesting, definitely had some interesting interviews today. Aaron, what's your take? Is Alder really the driver to beat, or can somebody like Francis McGinn maybe put up a fight with him?
Well, I think it all depends on how everyone can adapt to the tracks, the new setups, and potentially weather as well. Of course, it's not just going to be one clear championship contender. You know, you have Francis.
Oh,
have,
Francis just bounced off the wall.
Julian as well, who's a reserve. There's a lot of quick people in this league, and I think that's going to be one heck of a fight to see who gets it.
Now, you've played 2017 and 2018 at this point. What are the biggest differences for these drivers to try and contend with as far as adapting to the new game versus last year's F1 game?
Well, the biggest difference between 2017 and 18 are the curbs. The very auto spin. If you touch them, you're more than likely going straight into the barrier. There are some notable tracks for that, Australia being one of them at the left-right chicane. But if people can keep it clean, you know, maybe you can see some of the midfield pack getting podiums and potentially race wins.
And it looks like Fontani is going second quickest in the Haas. It's funny you mentioned the curbs. Curbs have been an issue in real life Formula One at places like Austria. Is there more realism to the F1 18 versus the 17 game when it comes to something like that?
Yeah, there's definitely more realism, in which this means driving more cautiously, staying away from the curbs. And it also adds that effect, you know, it makes you want to drive as quickly but also as cautiously as possible.
So Fontani's going second quickest. We're going to pick up Lewis Marshall here. He's in Sector 1, and he's off by 3 seconds. We'll pick up Frunke, who's 9th quickest so far in the factory Renault. Again, don't have much info on this driver. And he runs very wide. He's sector 2 right now. And Aaron, how does the ERS come into play with 18? I don't remember that being a part of the 17 game.
No, that wasn't a part of the 17 game. Of course, you've got the ERS itself, and then you've got the deployment and the harvesting system. The deployment, of course, being how much you can use over the period of one lap. If you use all of that, then you will have no ERS for the rest of the lap, as it resets every lap, a bit like KAMIKAZE from the old F1 games.
Now, is there a separate, obviously you get to choose, I guess, when you use a separate button setup, I guess, for that. Doesn't use it automatically, so, I mean, some of these guys use wheels, some of them use pads. I mean, is there even enough buttons on a controller for the modern F1 games anymore?
Yeah, there is, there is 6 different ERS modes. There is none, low, medium, high, overtake, and hot lap. Of course, being numbered as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hot lap being the quickest throughout the corners, overtake quicker on the straights, which is why there's quite a bit of a deviation between the two. Of course, some drivers have their preferences towards what ERS mode, that they use.
Wow, that's a lot to take in for an amateur like me. That would explain why I'm 5 seconds off on everybody. Frunky heading through sector 2. He's managed to work. He ran a 1:45.2. He's managed to become 6th quickest overall. Pick up Matthew Alder, who's using a different gamer tag today. He crashed out as VSR Blizzard. He is now in as Blizzard 53 in the McLaren. Fourth quickest overall. And it's, everybody seems to think this is going to be the guy to beat. I'm thinking Francis McCain and maybe Sebastian Goncalves might be able to take the fight to him this year. Goncalves has obviously proven to be very quick and very scrappy last year. He does have a little bit of a temper. But I think if Sebastian can, if he could get his emotions in check during the race, I think he could be really a force to be reckoned with. And then you have guys that are a little less known. Jay Drawbridge, who's proven to be very quick. As Gabriel Ryan goes to the top of the charts. That was unexpected. Gabriel Ryan in the Haas. Well, he is a former IRL Grand Prix winner. I believe he's got 3 wins to his credit. So good for him. 1:44.334. And it looks like he is on the soft. So not even on the softest compound. He sets the fastest lap. Good for him.
The top 4 separated by just over half a tenth.
That would make for a very interesting qualifying session for sure. And even the top 7 are all in the 144s. In fact, if you don't get into Frunky is the first driver in the 145s, and I'm a little surprised to see Lewis Marshall as far down on the charts as he is. Same thing with Cameron Weston Edwards. He's only managed to do a 146. He's now out on soft tires as well. Quinlan is definitely not having the test session that he would like. He's still out on medium tires. He has struggled all day with grip.
I think there's still more time to find for the top 5 guys as Blizzard crashes himself out.
Blizzard crashes again.
Got Jay Drawbridge as well. Lewis Marshall now out on super soft along with Frunky, who's still in the pits. Reese Bibby in the pits as well.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a shootout here in the last 4 minutes of this, and some of these drivers are heading back out. Got Lewis Marshall's on the Super Softs, Jay Drawbridge on Super Softs, Frunke on Super Softs, and Stefan Prodenoff. He has a pole to his credit. Looks like he might be out on Super Softs as well. So here we go. Prodenoff is going to start his hot lap, it looks like. See how he does through sector 1 as he's heading down Eau Rouge now. Down through the Kemmel Straight. Oh, and he runs wide. So Prodenoff has blown his hot lap. Pick up Jay Drawbridge. And we've got Rob Small chiming in on the live chat, wanting to know if he can join the league. Rob Small does the IRL GT3 Championship. He is teammates with the Jeremy Pope, Team C7R Racing. And Jeremy Pope's proven to be very fast in that. Rob Small, proven to be quick as well. So less than 2 minutes to play here. So we continue to watch Jay Drawbridge. Some of these guys, we see Fantani going out on an out lap. Drawbridge runs wide there. Callum Anderson also stating he would like to join. And guys, all I can say is you guys need to talk to the league agent. That's Cameron Weston Edwards. By all means, message him. I'm sure he will try and do his best to try and find a spot for you guys. Drawbridge is looking pretty quick here on this lap. Not 100% sure he's going to improve on his time. Down into the last little section of corners here. And Lewis Marshall has retired from the session as you see his wrecked Ferrari there in the background. And Jay Drawbridge goes to the top. He's the only driver to hit 143s with a 143.979. Promptly retires from the session and says, that's good enough for me. We'll see if anybody else can break into the 143s. We'll pick up Gabriel Ryan.
Oh, Francis McGinn's messed up the last chicane.
Oh, McGinn blows the last chicane. He's got a little bit of time. And McGinn is calling it a day. Reese Bibby goes second quickest, but still only a 144. We'll pick up Frunke.
Gabriel Ryan is on for a big improvement.
We'll pick up Gabriel Ryan in the Haas here. He's getting ready to come across the line. Gabriel Ryan to the top of the charts, 143.705, 2/10 over Jay Drawbridge. So props to Gabriel Ryan.
Hinton is on a good lap as well.
And Tani getting ready to come across the line in the Haas.
He
Oh, and he
goes
goes to the
quickest.
top of the chart, 143.313. Impressive by the unknown driver. It looks like the only driver that may still be out on a hot lap is going to be Reese Bibby. So we pick up his Petronas Mercedes here, the last chicane as well. And he's going to promptly dive off into the pits and call it a day. So very interesting test session. We've got Matthew Alder joining us here in the booth. Should be the last driver we're going to talk to today. And Alder, looks like you had a couple of offs today. Definitely not the form that we expected out of you. What happened today out there on the track?
Wow, I overcorrected on when I was on my VSR account, and then on this one I crashed off myself. I didn't actually go for a sort of super slap, and on this account I didn't set a valid lap that was actually good.
So you were in the Ferrari at first, then the McLaren, and a lot of drivers are pointing to you to take the championship this year. Is that your expectation for yourself, or you have any other projections for the year moving into the new season?
I mean, I hope so, but I'm more or less, if I can secure a championship, then I'm just going to concentrate on the constructors. We'll see how the season starts. So.
Interesting. Lewis Marshall had the same projection as far as the Scuderia Ferrari team championship, for sure. Who would you say is probably your biggest rival heading into the new season?
Who did?
Lewis Marshall, your teammate. But who would you say is your biggest rival heading into the new season? Francis McGinn.
Yep.
And what would you say would be probably your stronger or weaker tracks that you think you're going to be doing well or not so well in this year?
Probably Mexico. I don't like Mexico. I've never liked it. China. Don't like China. Monaco. That's not this one.
Interesting.
That's probably it, really. Maybe this track.
And do you feel as if there's any threat maybe from defending champion Felix Naguar heading into this season? Or you feel like Francis is essentially going to be the guy to beat?
I mean, I don't know. Felix isn't like pace-wise quicker than a couple of people in the league, but consistently he probably has the best consistency in it.
Interesting take on the fellow drivers. Well, Matthew, we certainly wish you the best of luck heading into this new season, and certainly going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. You're definitely one of the more exciting drivers to watch, so yeah, we certainly wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
So it looks like that's going to conclude the testing for today. Looks like some of these guys might stick around for qualifying in an exhibition race.
Most people are expecting you to carry on the stream for Germany. Last time.
Looks like we've already got Stefan Prodanov out of the session. So, Aaron, what's the deal? Do we continue to stream this, or are they going to race?
I think they're planning on doing a qualifying session and a 25%. I'll just quickly message Cameron to see what's going to happen.
We're watching Jay Drawbridge on his out lap as we try to get confirmation on exhibition race or not. And I'm pretty
Cameron said
impressed.
yeah. Let's just carry on.
Pretty impressed with Jay Drawbridge so far, as he's proven to be pretty quick. He's only an F2 driver. I feel like he might have the pace to be in the top tier league, as he is starting his first hot lap. So through Eau Rouge and the Kemmel Straight. So it looks like we're going to do a qualifying session and a 25% exhibition race. And TJ McLean has retired from the session, as well as Tyler Roll. And fastest lap so far goes to James Allworth at a 1:44.792. And Frunky 4040 with a 1:44.284. That's actually not a bad time.
Did that on the softs as well.
We continue to watch Jay Drawbridge here. Looks like he's time this time around is going to be off the pace a little bit here. It goes very wide and he shoots into the pits, and as does Matthew Alder, Lewis Marshall. And we'll pick up Reese Bibby. Looks like he's just starting his fast lap. So he comes to Eau Rouge and down to the Kemmel Straight.
He's looking at Fitton, he looks like he's on a pretty quick lap. Coming to the second sector split.
And we'll pick him up here real quick. So he just runs a 1:14.7 through sector 2. It does look like he's on the go pedal here a little bit, flying through some of these corners. James House sets another fastest lap with a 1:43.861.
Could be a 1:42.
Oh, the back end slides out coming out of the last chicane there. And a 1:42.980 from the Haas unknown driver, Fenton or Fintani, however you want to put those letters together. But a 1:42, the only driver we've seen so far run 1:42s. 1:43s for the time to beat in the test session. We'll pick up Reese Bibby as he comes across the line. He's going to go second fastest with a 1:43.575. We'll pick up Lewis Bish. Looks like he's starting a hot lap in the Force India. He's behind one of the Mercedes. And he'll get a little bit of a tow going down the Kemmel straight here. It might garner him a little bit of extra time, but he doesn't have his DRS slot open. It looks like he might be laying off the throttle a little bit, might want to give himself a little bit of a gap to the driver in front. So we'll pick up Francis McGinn. He's getting ready to come across the line. Ooh, and the back end slides out on him as well, and it is going to come across. It's going to be close. 142.709 by Francis McGinn. So unbelievable. Just when Fenton thought he had it, Francis snatches it away. We'll pick up Jimmy McCardell in the Alfa Romeo. Sauber, if you will. Love the paint scheme on that car. So McCardell, had a conversation with him, as I was saying earlier, in the off-season, said he was ready to take the championship fight to the front and make a name for himself. Unfortunately, so far this year, I think he has struggled a little bit to find the race pace that he thought he might have. Pick up Matthew Alder as he just dropped the left side tires into the grass a little bit. Big lockup heading into that corner on the right front. By caution in Sector 2. And Sectors 1, 2, and 3. And it looks like Sanjay Sarahog is retired from the session. So continue to watch Alder. He has not yet set a time.
I think he's on for a very quick one.
The back section of this course is extremely fast and very windy. And this is one of the parts of the track that I was saying earlier, you would want to have, you got to find that right setup between low drag and high drag for some of those corners. And he's going to come across, and this is going to be a ridiculous time set by him. 141.547, so he's 1.2 up on the next fastest driver, Francis McGinn. So an unbelievable time set by Matthew Alder, and just proving why all the drivers seem to think that this guy here is going to be the one to beat going into this season.
Gabriel Ryan's also on a lap.
Jimmy McCardell does manage to get 6th quickest. And we'll pick up Gabriel Ryan here as he's going to come across 1:43, so he'll jump to 4th on the time charts.
Oh, and Revolution's off.
Revolution, this is on the back half of the track, and he is retired from the session. Looks like he nosed it into the wall, lost the front wing, and called it a day. Looks like Gabriel Ryan is doing another hot lap. See one of the Toro Rossors there get out of his way. Big lock up on the right front there. Well, he puts the left side tires in the grass a little bit. We jump on board when we got a caution in Sector 3. Not sure what driver that would be. down to the last chicane here. Oh, and into the pits. All for nothing.
Finton improving by 0.3 in the first sector.
We'll pick him up, third quickest so far. As he's got another big block up there on the right front headed down the hill. Oh, and he just brushes the wall there coming out of that corner. That probably cost him any time that he had gained. We'll see as he comes through Sector 2 here in a second.
Lewis Marshall goes third.
Lewis Marshall, 142.773. Gabriel Ryan comes out of the last chicane. Back end slides out onto power. And
Finton goes second.
Finton goes second fastest. Ryan still fifth quickest. But Finton is only the second driver to break into the 141s with a 141.901. We got another caution in Sector 3. Pick up Frunky 4040. Looks like he's going to set halfway decent time. Should improve. Nope, he's going to jump into the pits.
Jay Drawbridge with a very good first sector time, 29.5. A Haas ahead of him. That is Finton.
So we'll pick up Jay Drawbridge here in the McLaren. He's yet to set a time. 3 minutes to play, basically. 3.5 minutes left to play in this session. And Jay Drawbridge and Lewis Bishop yet to set times. We've lost Revolution VV, Sandre Sauerhall, Tyler Rhodes, TJ McLean, and Stefan Prodenoff here in the qualifying session.
So that might put Jay up into third.
It's going to be close. Very smooth coming out of that last corner. And you were right, 142.208 jumps to third. So a good hot lap from him. Louis Quinlan, looks like he's the only driver I've seen out on the softs. There was somebody you mentioned earlier that set a time on softs.
Frunky and Cameron did their laps on softs, but now they're out on super softs.
And Quinlan's going to head into the pits.
Not going to have enough time to come out. That's his qualifying session over.
Lewis Bish does finally set a time. He's gone 8th quickest as he has jumped across the chicane. Apparently he cut that chicane and he's done with that lap. Quinlan's done with his qualifying session. Couldn't improve, so he's 13th quickest. Minute and a half left to play. Francis McGinn has just retired, and I see a Sector 3, so it's probably went off somewhere.
Gabriel Ryan, he's on a lap, about to come up to the first sector split.
And Jay Drawbridge has retired from the session. I guess he figured third was going to be about as quickly as he's going to get. Finton retired from the session as well. We pick up Gabriel Ryan at the end of the Plymouth Straight and into Sector 2. Lewis Bish calls it a session. So less than a minute to go. Hot laps will count. Watching Gabriel Ryan here through Sector 2. It looks like he's relatively smooth, putting up a pretty good time here. See one of the Sahara Force Indias coming back onto the track.
Ryan improving by 8 tenths.
Here we go.
Might put himself ahead of Jay.
Comes across the line. Fourth quickest. Jimmy McCardell comes across the line. 9th quickest. Frankie coming down to the last chicane here in a moment.
Cameron the next one to set a time as he comes through the bus stop chicane.
Oh, not too good there. Back end kicks out on big time. And he improved upon his 12th. He'll move into 10th. And here comes Frankie. He's coming down to the last chicane as well. See if he can improve upon his 12th spot. And he will knock out Cameron Weston Edwards. So he'll take over his teammate. And the Renaults will be starting 10th and 11th.
Lewis Marshall now, the last one to come and set time coming through the chicane.
And 4th quickest for Lewis Marshall. And it looks like we have Callum Anderson going to be joining the race. Didn't participate in the test session or the qualifying session. Almost a full house for this 25% exhibition race. So, Aaron, what do you think can we expect heading into turn 1 here? Turn 1 very tricky, obviously.
Well, it's quite a short run down into turn 1, so the start is less dependent than in other tracks, which have a long distance between the start and turn 1. Italy has quite a long one. But Belgium, if you get an okay start from the lead, then you'll more than likely keep that lead going down into turn 1. So I think all Alder needs to do is get an okay start, doesn't need to risk anything off the line, and he'll have the lead into turn 1.
So it looks like we have Callum Anderson has joined the race into the barrier. I'm not 100% sure who that is. Has also joined, but he did not set a time. So unfortunately, there's a few drivers here that we are not too familiar with, but it looks like we're waiting for Francis McGinn. Looks like he's the last one that has to load. We are unfortunately staring at a black screen. So turn 1 will certainly be interesting. Looks like Francis has left the session, possibly a connection issue on his end. He was 6th quickest overall. So there you see basically your starting order. It's Matthew Alder, Fenton, Jay Drawbridge, Lewis Marshall, Gabriel Ryan, Francis McGinn, Reese Bibby, Lewis Fish, Jimmy McCardell, Frunky, Cameron Weston Edwards, James Hallworth, Louis Quinlan, and Revolution VV. And it says Francis has left the session again. So it seems like Francis McGinn's having some internet issues, which is too bad for him. I was looking forward to seeing if he could actually take the fight to Matthew Alder through this race. Nonetheless, a lot of drivers joining in today should make for an interesting exhibition race. Are we doing a formation lap? I believe we are.
Oh,
Okay, alright. And that's the formation lap, and TJ McLean disqualified from the session. Matthew Alder, Jay Drawbridge, Gabriel Ryan, Frunky, all will be sitting at the starting line waiting. And Gabriel Ryan, again, with some choice words.
Somebody's crashed him over Callum Anderson.
So Finton, as we watch this formation lap, he'll be starting second, followed by Jay Drawbridge and then Lewis Marshall here in the Scuderia Ferrari. Reese Bibby is going to be starting sixth in the Mercedes. I'm sorry, seventh in the Mercedes. Lewis Bish is 8th in Sahara Force India, Jimmy McCardell. And Jay Drawbridge now has some choice words for TJ McLean. So, certainly going to be an interesting conversation after all this, I'm sure. McLean seems to, for lack of a better term, he is the black hat of the league. He's the Kyle Busch of the league, if you will. Overly aggressive, doesn't seem to have a lot of fans in the paddock. And it's not to say that he can't race. It'll be interesting to see turn one and how this turns out. Some of these guys flying around this track on the formation lap as we pick up James Hallworth in 12th. Louis Quinlan will be starting 13th. Revolution will be 14th. Tyler Roll is 16th. Into the barrier is 19th, and Callum Anderson, who didn't set a time, is a long way back and will be starting 20th. So, we'll get a grid reset here. Do an 11-lap shootout. Lights out. Time to run what you brung. Puff of smoke. And it looks like we're actually going to get through turn one semi-clean. And Alder jumps out, like you said, Finton. Finton's going to go around, smashes into the barrier. Jay Drawbridge is done for the day at the top of Air Rouge. and they're 2 and 3 wide going at the end of the Kemmel Straight. Oh, look at this. Gabriel Ryan and Louis Quinlan touch wheels. A lot of action going on farther back. Big lock up there. Try to keep up with everything. He's got 3 wide here. There's going to be some contact. One of the Sahara Force Indians gets pushed wide. Tyler's going to pick up a 3-second time penalty. Pick up TJ McLean. We've got one of the Mercedes off, it looks like. Owen McLean tries to dive bomb one of the Toro Rossos. Looks like that was Quinlan. He's going to manage to get around him and move himself into 6th.
McLean up 11 positions from the stars.
And Callum Anderson has retired. Not sure what happened to him. That was farther back in the pack. So we've lost Callum Anderson and Jay Drawbridge here in the opening lap. Quinlan and James Hallworth are battling it out as they're side by side heading down into turn 1. Hallworth's going to try and take the long way around. That's going to leave the door open for Revolution to come through. Tries to make it work, can't. Oh, and he's going to try and pass him in Air Rouge. Oh, and they hit it!
Oh.
Sahara Force Indian goes into the wall. He manages to keep it together. But that was never going to work. You can't go side by side through Eau Rouge. Oh my goodness, and what is going on with McLean and Quinlan?
On Revolution's into the barrier.
And Quinlan has, he's tangled now in the back with the other Red Bull. That's Revolution. Unfortunately, Revolution was probably an innocent bystander in that. Looks like Quinlan and McLean were going toe for toe, blow for blow. Sandre Sauerhawk is now retired from the session. Quinlan has now retired from the session. Revolution is slow. You see the other Toro also head on into the barrier there. So, a lot of action going on here in the opening couple laps. We'll try and get you a little bit of a grid reset. We've got Matthew Alders out in front by 3 seconds plus, followed by his teammate Lewis Marshall. James Hallworth has just retired from the session as well. And as you go 3 seconds back from Lewis Marshall, you'll pick up Cameron Weston Edwards, who has quietly and methodically worked his way into the 3rd spot. Gabriel Ryan is 4th. And we pick up Tyler Roll in the 5th position, followed by TJ McLean. Into the barrier is 7th. Fenton is 8th. Frunke is 9th. Lewis Bish is 10th as he's coming out of the pits. Jimmy McCardell is just coming across the line. He is 11th. Reese Bibby, 12th. And Revolution has pulled off to the side of the track as he tries to work his way. He is retired from the session. So we pick up, looks like your closest battle on track right now is going to be between Tyler and TJ McLean. McLean right behind him. Revolution has left as well. So we started with essentially 18 drivers. We're now down to 12. Tyler gets the back end loose. McLean tries to go around the outside. Swerves back and forth. He's going to make a move now. And they bang wheels. McLean holds his ground, and he's going to make the pass, and that moves him up into 5th. In the midst of all this, Gabriel Ryan has gotten around Cameron Weston Edwards for 3rd. And Quinlan has left the session as well. So it looks like this is what is to be expected. We've got a Ferrari 1-2. And James Hallworth has some choice words for Fenton, who we are not sure who Fenton is. Looks like we've got somebody chiming in on the live chat about TJ McLean as well. So we've got a Ferrari 1-2 here as Matthew Alder is now almost 5 seconds ahead of his teammate Lewis Marshall. Gabriel Ryan is third. Tyler has moved into fourth as we've got some guys that have gone into the pits, possibly for wing changes, tire changes. You see TJ McLean comes back out. Eighth, he's on the soft tires. Runs very wide at the top of Eau Rouge before heading back on the track here. Looks like your closest battle on track is actually going to be between Jimmy McCardell and Frankie Forte, both on softs. McCardell was with Renault last year and didn't participate in a lot of races. Had a really good outing at Canada last year, though. It's definitely one of the more interesting races. Looks like he got a little twitchy there, trying to get around Frankie, but couldn't make it work. Lost the front end of the car. Frankie pulls that to about 3 car length lead over McCardell here for the 9th position. McCardell trying to come back. He's obviously in the wake of the Renault in front of him, so probably using a little bit of front end grip. And you see Reese Bibby is actually starting to creep into the picture. So we're about to have a 3-way battle here for the 9th spot. And actually behind him, Fenton's starting to creep into the picture as well. McCardell trying to work the outside. Frankie takes the more defensive line. He's going to try a crossover move. Not going to be able to make it work for the bust out chicane. Tyler has retired from the session as well as we pick up the battle here. Jay Drawbridge has also left the session.
Oh, Tyler Rhodes just had an accident. I think he's crashed. Lost out on position 2, TJ.
So Frankie's actually started to pull away from this battle here. As we're going to pick up, it's now a 3-way battle for the last points paying position. And we've now come across a bunch of other traffic. Some of these guys come out from the pits, I'm assuming earlier. Frankie's moved up to 8th. McCardell going toe for toe. Looks like with Fenton. Oh, and he gets pushed wide. Oh, and it gets hit hard by the Haas.
Oh, he's hit some
debris. Oh, and he's done for the day. Big wreck here by Jimmy McCardell. Oh, my goodness. So I'm not sure if that was Fenton or Reese Bibby the contact was made with. But a big wreck. That is going to ruin Jimmy McCardell's day for sure. So Frankie has now started to close the gap into the barrier. Into the barrier, I should say. We've got 4 cars now that are going to be battling for the 7th spot. Here goes Frankie. He's going to try and go side by side through Eau Rouge. We saw this not work earlier. Looks like into the barrier, thought better of it, gives up the position. You see the Haas of Fenton starting to creep into the picture, and look at this. Into the barrier is going to try and make a move on Frankie. Frankie takes the more defensive line. Oh, and look at this, into the barrier, makes the pass work on the outside. And now Fenton is all over the back of Frankie. Big lockup on the right front. I'm being told by Sandre Sauerhog that Frankie is Suarez. No, I'm sure that's not Daniel Suarez from the Monster
Oh.
Energy Cup. Oh no! And
Into the barrier.
into the barrier goes around. Lost the back end of the car. So Frunky, we're being told, goes by Suarez, and Suarez, if you will, is in front of Fenton or Fentani. And Sandre Sourhog is telling me that that is Paco Suarez.
That would have been nice to know about an hour ago.
So Paco is trying to fend off. Looks like Fenton has gotten around him. And just to be clear, nothing's changed up front. Matthew Alder is still your leader, and he is out front by 20 seconds over his teammate Lewis Marshall. Your closest battle up front would be between Lewis Bish and Gabriel Ryan. That is for the third spot, last spot on the podium. Lewis Bish is only within 0.6 of a second. So we'll pick up this battle.
Paco and Fenton.
And it looks like Paco and Fenton are still going blow for blow back here for 6th. I'm sorry, for 7th. Oh, and Suarez runs wide. Oh, and they touch. Oh, and look at this. Fenton dive bombs and pushes him wide. Does a slide job on him almost. Paco's going to try and do a crossover move. Can't make it work. And while these two are battling it out, you'll see Reese Bibby just start to creep into the picture there. Oh no, and around goes the Haas! And Fenton has crashed into the wall.
Meanwhile, Alder into the pits.
And Fenton has retired from the session. He's going to call it a day. So Matthew Alder heads into the pits here on lap 8. And here comes Lewis Marshall. Marshall's not going to be able, look at that. Alder timed that pit stop perfectly. Now Marshall is on worn tires. He's going to be in the slipstream of his teammate. He's going to have the DRS advantage as well. He's going to go side by side with him. So Lewis Marshall picks up the lead for the time being, followed closely behind Matthew Alder. Gabriel Ryan will be third as Lewis Bish still fights with him for the third spot. And TJ McLean is starting to close in on Cameron Weston Edwards for 5th. We watch Alder here. So your closest battles on track is between Lewis Marshall and Matthew Alder here for the top spot. You go a few spots back and you'll pick up TJ McLean chasing Cameron Weston Edwards for 5th. And then if you go a little further back than that, oh, and into the barriers left the session. Another possible crash there. You go a little farther back in that fight for 5th, you'll pick up the battle for 7th between Paco Suarez and Reese Bibby. You see Matthew Alder going to try and get around the outside. Not going to make it work. Going to try a crossover move here on his teammate. It's a good run coming out of there. So the Ferraris are going side by side as they head down into turn 1. And Sandre Sourhog is telling me that into the barrier is Michael Marlowe. I suppose I will have to make notes of these gentlemen. And Matthew Alder gets around his teammate to take over the top spot. Oh, he cuts the chicane a little bit there, so Lewis Marshall's going to try and come back. Big lockup on the right front. And it looks like Gabriel Ryan has now joined this battle. Ping Toll, Tyler Rhodes, Michael Marlowe, Paco are all F2 drivers. I don't have the F2 driver list, that was not provided to me. As we continue to watch this battle, Marshall still trying to work his teammate, Gabriel Ryan here in the back. The two Ferraris are side by side now. If this ends in tears for them, Gabriel Ryan will be able to pick up a couple of spots. Oh, Ryan's going to dive to the inside, then he touches him and he slides across the bus stop chicane. That was Alder. But he's not out of it. Alder gets back on the gas. He only loses 2 spots, essentially. He's in third. He's right behind the two of them for the battle for this. And now while this is going on, Lewis Bish is starting to creep into the picture. He's less than 2 seconds behind this three-way battle for the lead. We'll go on board with Gabriel Ryan up to the top of New Rouge to the Kemmel Straight. Looks like there's going to be some lap traffic coming up.
It's Tyler Rhodes.
Tyler Rhodes is best to stay out of the way. Oh, and Alder gets caught in between. Lewis Marshall and Gabriel Ryan are going to be able to pull away just a little bit from Alder as Tyler Rhodes had no place to go. And look how quick Alder has caught back up. He's within a second of Gabriel Ryan. Less than 2 laps to go here in the closing portion of this race. Alder has closed in on Ryan as Lewis Marshall's been able to pull out a little bit. Lewis Marshall dives to the inside, which is going to become the outside. Oh my goodness, Ryan pushes him wide. Oh, and they touch again. And Alder is going to try and muscle his way through here. They go side by side to the bus stop chicane. Crossover move by Alder. Not going to be able to make it work. It's all over the back of Gabriel Ryan's Haas.
Oh, he's on the inside.
He's going to try and get him to the inside. Big lock-up crossover move by Ryan. Great move. But look how quickly Alder's able to get the power down. They jump on board with Gabriel Ryan as they head down the Kemmel Straight. He's going to have the DRS advantage. Alder's going to make him work to the outside. Oh, they touch wheels a little bit. Oh, they're still banging wheels. They're side by side.
Now he gets it done.
Alder able to make it work, and I think that's going to be it for Ryan as far as that battle goes. Alder is going to be off and running and trying catching his teammate. Alder runs wide here to this downhill left-hander. Last lap, by the way, so possibly the battling with Gabriel Ryan is maybe a gift for Lewis Marshall if he can hang on to it, but Alder is closing the gap. He is coming. It's now down to 1.4 as they head through this last section of the course here.
McLean and Edwards have been battling for quite a long time.
Yes, McLean and Edwards have been going back and forth blow for blow, but we're watching the battle for the lead here. It doesn't look like Alder's going to be able to get it done, so Lewis Marshall's going to win this exhibition race as we pick up the battle real quick here. Last section of the course, Cameron Weston Edwards and TJ McLean. Edwards dives to the inside. They bang wheels a little bit. Looks like McLean's going to be able to hang on to this. Oh, and around goes Edwards. And McLean slows down just to let it be a quick 5th and 6th. Paco Suarez will finish this in 7th. Tyler Rhodes has been disqualified.
Paco might finish it with the fastest lap.
So an unbelievable exhibition race. So that was definitely an interesting exhibition race. Lewis Marshall gets to take the top spot, followed by his teammate Matthew Alder. And a good outing by Gabriel Ryan. And definitely an interesting test session. We heard from some of the drivers. Qualifying was certainly interesting. And definitely a very good exhibition race. So if this is what the rest of the season is going to look like, I look forward to the season opener. And speaking of which, you can watch the F2 season opener on Saturday, November 3rd at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. And then following day on November 4th will be the F1 top tier drivers at the same track. And Aaron, any closing comments on this day? It's been quite adventurous.
Well, Lewis Marshall said he was going to be the Kimi Raikkonen, but he's picked up a win in this little friendly exhibition race, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can do for the championship.
Absolutely. And certainly there will be some talk. Definitely a lot of talk going on behind the scenes about some of these other drivers. TJ McLean, there seems to be a lot of controversy surrounding his name. We'll see what happens moving forward. Unfortunately, opening weekend is a month away. But yeah, this has been the exhibition and race and mixed test preseason test 3. And unfortunately, no TJ, nobody watched you, and Cameron Weston Edwards, who were watching the battle for the lead. So, but I am KAMIKAZE-FOX. This has been KLC73. Aaron, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment to the IRL YouTube channel. You can also check out KLC73. What's your YouTube channel now? You changed it, didn't you?
It's Voltex now, and I'm going to change it soon, though.
And that's Voltex. So make sure you like, subscribe, and comment to his YouTube page. Check out mine as well for more racing action. And we'll see you guys at the next round.